Bonjour. First, I want to share that I'm not an expert in the field of suicide, let alone youth suicide, but I am what's called a Shkabewis, a traditional helper. And a lot of my work has been around what in our Aboriginal communities we refer to as the Western Door ceremonies. And the Western Door is that spirit door that our spirit enters when it leaves the physical realm. So a lot of my work has been around that. And that experience has given me a little bit of knowledge that I'm going to be sharing with you today through my own journey in helping my community and other communities around death, dying, and suicide. I'm going to start by explaining that what I'm going to share is shared in stories, and which is the way our people have always passed on their teachings. The first story that I'm going to share with you is called the Spirit Journey Instructions, and this is a ceremony that is done more so now. Our people are picking up a lot of these ceremonies to help them with that grief work they do. And the Spirit Journey Instructions begin with what's called a Spirit Bundle. And the Spirit Bundle is very small, and in it, the family will put together 4 sticks, 4 pieces of birch bark, 4 matches, 4 bits of tobacco, and 4 berries or 4 bits of food. And they'll put that on a cloth. And they will place that with the vessel, with their loved one. And they will instruct that spirit, or they'll have someone instruct the spirit, because the spirit sometimes is not aware that it's in spirit form. And the instructions go like this. On your first day on your journey, you'll be traveling down a path. You'll come to a fork in your path. You won't know which way to go. That fork in your path will represent all of those decisions you've had to make in your life. And so, to know which way to go, you will step off your path. You will take your first stick, your first birch bark, your first match, and you will light a fire. You'll sit by that fire. You will take your first bit of tobacco. You will offer that to the fire, and you will ask for the right way to go on your journey. And you will eat that first bit of food, that first berry, and you will sleep for the night. In the morning when you wake, you will see that one of the forks in that path is no longer there, and you will know which way to go. As you travel on that path on your second day, you will come to a place where there are many dogs barking, growling, frothing at the mouth, not letting you by. Those dogs represent all of the creatures of creation that you may have harmed in your life. All those plant beings, the crawlers, the walkers, the flyers, the swimmers, all of those. So you will step off your path, take another stick, another bit of birch bark, another match, and you'll light a fire, and you'll sit by that fire. You'll take that little bit of tobacco, put that in the fire. Ask forgiveness for the things you may have done intentionally and unintentionally in your life to cause harm to creation. And you'll eat a little bit of food and rest for the night. In the morning when you wake, you will see that the dogs have stopped barking and growling, and they're quite happy. And they will let you by. And it's on this third day that you're walking, the path will become very dark and cold. You will be in a place that's the place of lost spirits, lost souls, which is the place that when someone commits suicide, their spirit enters. On that path, when you're walking through this dark and cold place, you'll come to a part of the path where many of those spirits are standing in the road very tightly, not letting you by. You are to step off the path, take another stick, another piece of birch bark, another match, make your fire. Take your tobacco and you offer it for those spirits to help them find their way to that spirit realm further down that path. And you will eat your bit of food and rest for the night. In the morning, when you wake, you will see that they have moved apart, and you will be able to make your way through them to keep walking. On that last day, you'll be walking, and you'll come to a mountain. And that mountain represents all those things you've had to overcome in your life. Addictions, all the abuse, all that trauma, all those different things you've had to get past. And you will climb that mountain. As you climb that mountain, you begin to hear songs and voices, faintly familiar. As you get to the top, you will look down and you will see the other side, a beautiful place. And as you begin to climb down that mountain, those voices, songs will become more clear. You begin to recognize them as those who have gone on before us. As you get to the base of that mountain, you'll come across a river, a torrent. These are all the things in your life that have caused trauma, all those things that have caused chaos in your life. You will take that last bit of, that last stick, that last birch bark, last match, make your fire by that river. Last bit of tobacco, you will offer that and you will ask for passage, safe passage through those times and give thanks for that. You will eat your last bit of food, your last berry, and you will rest for the night. After that fourth night, when you wake, you will see that that river has stopped flowing in that white water way. Become like a trickling brook, and you'll be able to find a passage across. And as you make your way across the river, you will be welcomed by those who have gone before us. You'll be welcomed into that spirit world. It is that third day that we're talking about at this time. That place where the spirits go when they have chosen to step off their life path. It is said that before we come into this world, we sit with the Creator and we look at our life's path. And we agree to walk it, whatever that path has in store for us. And when someone takes their own life, they break that agreement with the Creator for whatever reason. And so there are consequences to that. And the consequences are that the spirit moves into that third day. Some spirits don't dwell there too long. Some are still there. But our people believe that is our love, our compassion, our prayers, our offerings, all those things we do for that spirit that will help that spirit make it out of that place. That spirit work that we need to do. For Anishinaabe people, for the indigenous people, we do that through ceremonies. We do that through our offerings of food. Many different cultures have many different ways that are very similar in that, those indigenous peoples. And so, as Anishinaabe, we do things like we create a fire for that for that spirit. Some of you may be familiar with our communities when there's a death in the community, that we burn that sacred fire. And that sacred fire is a doorway or a window between this world and the next. It allows us to continue to help that spirit. It allows family to do that spirit work, to not only assist that spirit, but also begin to relieve them of that grief that they're carrying, that guilt, those things that the spirit leaves with us, unintentionally, but it is what we're left with. They say that when we leave, we have like a pack sack on our back full of heavy rocks. All those things in our life that maybe we didn't get a chance to ask forgiveness for. And so what we can do through our ceremony is do those things for that spirit so that those rocks begin to be taken out of that heaviness. When someone commits suicide, it's tenfold the amount of heaviness. Not only the spirit carries that, but all of us left behind do. So through ceremony, we're able to lift those rocks, lift that heaviness from the spirit and ourselves as well. That fire connects us to the spirit, allows us to do that. We offer food to that spirit to give it strength and nourishment to find its way. We offer tobacco to lift those stones, and also we ask the spirits that have made it to call to that spirit from their end, from their side, to help them make it. We ask them to search for that spirit. We do our work from this side, and they do their work from the other side. When you look at the medicine wheel, in the east is when we're born or as a child. And in the south, the red is when we're in our youth stage. The black is when we're in our adult, and the white in the elder stage. For our youth, in that southern door of their life, it is a time when the elders say our youth are looking for themselves. They do things that might be risky in their life. They live for the day. They're not thinking of the past or the future. They're thinking about and experiencing life today. When I asked an elder about youth suicide and our youth being lost, why it was so, the elder said, those young people have not been given their name or their clan or their colors. They weren't taken into ceremony. When you do that, when you give the youth those things, it grounds them. It gives them a base. It gives them an anchor. So that when life hits them and those dark places, the turbulence happens, it keeps them from getting lost in that white water. It helps them. So it's really important to do that. One of the things that was shared in the opening by the minister was something that we also believe in, which is that suicide spirit that exists and makes its way through our communities, looking for doorways, looking for individuals, youth with depression, who've been abused, all these doorways that have been created for them to enter. And that spirit will try to convince those young people or those individuals with those weaknesses to go this way. So we have ceremonies in our communities to help push those spirits out. And sometimes they're able to enter others around that person who's committed suicide, and we call those clusters. They will go after them. The way we see it, we cannot destroy those spirits, but we can move them. And the way to stop them is to address those doorways, address the things in our communities, the things we do to ourselves, the choices we make in our lives, so that that spirit cannot enter as easily. And through ceremony, we're able to do that. So I want to thank you for allowing me to share a little bit of the things that I've been honored to be a part of down this very hard and dark road. Oh, miigwech.